DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Well, there you go. How you doing, boys and girls? It's 7 o'clock. It's Bill Herman on DJNTV. I am the host of Creative License that happens every Monday here on DJNTV, and the owner of the Entertainment Experience Workshops, and I am the host this year for the DJNTV show. First one in Las Vegas. I mean, come on, baby. We're working together with the folks at the Photo Booth Expo at South Point Hotel. It's going to be February 24th, 25th, and 26th, and 27th, okay? And the speaker lineup is incredible. It's just a bunch of very incredible people that are going to be a part of it. Some names you know, but a lot of that you do not know. So one of the things that John and I thought we would do is do a presenter spotlight. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, working our way up to the conference. And today, I get to talk to the gentleman who's going to be on stage on Tuesday at 10 in the morning, talking about effective communication with today's clients, which I'm figuring he's talking about effective communication with people his age. Because today, it's the old DJ and the young DJ. This is Rick Weber. How you doing, Rick?
I'm doing great. And I would probably put a better wording on that is millennial marketing in a sense. It's basically what we're going to be talking about.
This is something you've had some success with then.
Well, I am of age. I have friends that are getting married. I have older people that are getting married just a little bit above me. So I have a lot of firsthand experience with that. And I've had a lot of success in moving to a brand new state in the last year and a half and starting a pretty successful company off the gate.
That's true. I heard you went from Ohio to North Carolina, Greensboro.
Yep, absolutely.
I want to get to that in a little bit, but first I want to talk a little bit about you grew up. Did you grew up in Ohio?
Yes, absolutely. Been in Ohio all my life.
Big family.
Yeah. I got one younger brother. I'm the oldest, and mom, dad, grandparents on both sides.
So when you looked at your grandparents and your parents and said, "I want to be a DJ," they were really excited.
Absolutely not. No.
Was that a conversation you had with them, or did you just start DJing and then they kind of found out?
It was kind of one of those things that it was something that my parents didn't support because they're like, it's not a good career path. It doesn't make money. Didn't believe in it. So I kept up with my schoolwork, got really good grades, did all the other stuff, kept up with my homework, got a real job, and did this on the side when I could force time into it. And
this was during high school.
I started, right around freshman year of high school was when I started to actually kind of work into being a DJ. That's kind of the tipping point, basically.
What was your first gig?
First gigs were birthday parties.
No, I mean your first gig. What was your first gig? Do you remember it?
Oh my God. I was doing stuff. So I was always the kid that had the large amount of music. I spent the time on the computer. I was tech savvy, had all the illegally downloaded music, the fun stuff as a young kid, because no one knew how to get it. And I had all the playlists. And in football, I was the one that had the clean music so that we could actually play at the weight room. So just in general, when I was at places, I was the one playing the music. And this this I guess ended up being my first gig. I got paid like $20. But my buddy asked me for his 16-year-old birthday. Yeah, the 16-year-old birthday party to bring my iPad and kind of just play the music, put together playlists and stuff. And his mom came up to me. Uh, I want to say a little bit into it, and is like, "You're really good at selecting music." Because I was playing some older tracks too from what my parents liked and stuff. And
Yeah.
she's like, "You ever thought about being a DJ?" I'm like, "No, maybe." And that was the original trigger that got me down the path of being a DJ. One of my friends at the time wanted to be like a radio MC announcer. He made up the little voice and everything. So we kind of teamed up and did birthday parties because as an initial DJ, I hated the microphone. So he did the microphone stuff. I did the DJ stuff. And that's kind of how it all started, really.
So, and then that was, you're a freshman in high school. You're going through high school. You're talking about being a DJ. Mom and dad don't like this idea. So you got a real job. What was the real job? Was it before you went to, you went to college, right?
Absolutely. I went to college too. I just graduated in 2018.
Okay. So after high school, did you get the job during high school? And if you did, what was it? What were you doing?
Yeah. So my first job at the age of 15 is when I got my first job. Was my next door neighbor. She was the head of catering. This really leads down, like it all kind of synced together. You'll see how this works.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, brother.
She was the head of catering for the local catering company or the restaurant catering company. And they did a bunch of weddings. It actually turns out that they are the largest. So I'm from Southeastern Ohio, small towns, largest towns, like 30,000 people in that area. So they're the largest catering company for weddings in that area, period. Like there's no one even comes close. They have like 6 vans. We have a completely large staff. And I got brought on and I was there during the week. I organized vans, got the plates ready, and it was more than just catering. They did decor too and stuff, and tables and chairs and stuff. So I worked my way up into that company. But throughout this, I'm seeing tons of weddings. They're doing anywhere from 3 to 5 weddings, sometimes 8 every single weekend. So I'm always out at a wedding, and it kind of played together. I was doing these birthday parties, discovered what a wedding was because I really didn't know at 15. And I started seeing all the DJs that were out there. Some kind of good, a lot. Wow, I don't know what you were doing, but as a young little teenager that thinks he knows everything.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I got into actually becoming very serious with DJing because it was also the time that we started getting into high school dances, the homecomings, the proms.
Yeah.
Realized how crappy the DJ was because our school had no budget to pay anybody worth a crap.
Right.
And at these weddings, I found the DJs that were really good. And one of them kind of like latched onto me as like he was like a person that sought out talent. Like he saw me and noticed that I was really interested and I had a passion for this. And he kind of took me under his wing. It was like a family owned business. And he started giving me gigs and stuff. And we just worked together.
Who was that?
Chris Faust. He's the owner of DJ Associates. And then his sister runs their sister company, Event Design. So
wow.
That's their like full-time job. It's a family owned business. They got 3 warehouses in Marietta, Ohio. And I still work, do some events for them every year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where it got me into it. He led me up into it. And then, again, along this whole entire time, I'm in high school, getting good grades, applied to college, got into engineering college. I don't know where you want to go with this, but
no, engineering. I mean, engineering, was that a thing that you chose, or does that like that making dad happy?
That was something I chose. I was really strong in math, really strong in science, and I really liked engineering as a field, and I still do to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I love engineering. It was one of those things. I liked being a DJ. It was the fun thing, but in the back of my head, Dad was like, "It's not real. It's not real. You can't do it." It was about.
I heard it from my old man too, so I know what you're talking about.
He kind of turned the curve around my senior or no, it was probably it was more or less around the sophomore year of college when I started doing like, I would come back for the summer and I would have like 20 weddings lined up with the company, and he'd start seeing my paychecks coming in from there. And, or I think my mom, because my mom was on the bank, would be like, he just made like $1,000 this weekend. Like, and then he started, I noticed he never told me, but he started being like, "Hey, you DJing this weekend? Hey, where are you going this weekend? Do you want your brother to come help you?"
That's great, man. So now, how you still do some things for this company that kind of mentored you and helped you through things. When did you decide to start your own thing?
Well, it was a combination. So I still have a full-time job right now out of college. I
Mhm.
still pursued what my career path was. Um,
Engineering.
I graduated in 4 years, which is pretty incredible for a mechanical engineer.
Yeah, it is.
Um, Also with one of the highest GPAs, but that's beside the point.
Okay, so you're smart.
Yeah,
I
I
got it.
was. Yeah,
I'll try to use some bigger words. I apologize.
no. English is the worst part on like the SATs or whatever you take. My English was what kept me from getting a good ACT score. Math and science were just like up here, and then
That's nice.
reading and English were like down here. I read at like a
Right.
fourth grade level. So,
Well,
um,
most of us do.
but so my sophomore going into my junior year of college, I got an internship with the company I'm working for now. It was a tire making company.
Yeah.
They're based in Akron, Ohio, as their corporate headquarters. So I did my first rotation there, and then the next year they wanted me to do a rotation at one of their plants, and one of their plants is down here in Danville, Virginia, which is just on the border of North Carolina. But everyone, when I was doing my research, was like, "You need to live in Greensboro, North Carolina." It's like 45 minutes away, but Greensboro is way bigger, a lot
Mhm.
better lifestyle for a young person. Um, so junior going to senior, I was down here the whole entire time, pretty much set on this is what's going to happen after college. I'm going to be moving down here. So after that rotation, before I went into my senior year, I already got a job offer lined up. Apply. Basically, I knew I was coming down here. It was already set in stone. So I actually started Fusion Sound and Lighting going into my senior year of college, which is the company I own now down here.
Mhm.
So it was basically a I don't know what you same time, same course of action to start the company. And I even came down here and did a wedding show the winter of my senior year of college, prepping to go into this marketplace down here, and started making connections. And yeah, so the whole move,
Interesting. You know, a
the
lot of
whole
people your age don't really go in that direction, but the idea that you're trained as an engineer and the systems and procedures that come with that thought process, the
Mhm.
plans that come with that thought process, really helped you to put something together that was actually real when you decided to go out on your own into an entirely different state.
Yeah, and it definitely the whole beauty of having the day job though allows me to put 100% of the business right back into the business to make it grow even faster.
Mhm.
Um, which is something that just, I mean, it's a lot of work to do what I'm doing right now, to have a full-time job that requires me to do one weekend a month as well at work. So, but
So is that the goal? Is that the goal? Is at one point take that degree and say, well, thanks anyway. I got my own thing.
that decision might be coming very soon. Um,
Really?
the I had, so the business plan, there's another thing. I made a whole business plan for Fusion Sound Lighting. The business plan is set out that in 5 years I would be at a point where I could quit my day job 100%, no problem. Um, but after, based on the projections for this year, sometime around March, when the engagement booking craziness kind of dials down a little bit right now, because it's like, I don't know for you, but right now for me, it's like I got a million leads and I'm just waiting on them to say yes or no.
Yeah, no, I got it. It's that time of year, isn't it?
It's that stressful time of year, in my opinion. But
Well, part of it, the fact that you're kind of burning a candle at both ends too.
that's the big morale thing right now. Like if I wanted to, I could quit right now. It's just more a justification of, do I want to have money to put towards other stuff like real estate, or uh, I mean, I'm single right now, so pulling these 90 to 100-hour weeks is not the craziest thing in the world, but it's definitely starting to get to that point where it's cutting into my ability to go to the gym, my ability to get sleep. We were kind of discussing that before we got on here. So uh, I get through it right now, but
Yeah.
it's definitely something that's going to be a heavy decision that I've been actually throwing a lot of numbers behind. I'm a very numbers person. So
Yeah, I see that. I mean, it's a rare thing too. The people who kind of get into this business don't usually get into this business because it's a business. You know, how many young men that I've ever met your age or even my age that have said, "Yeah, I have a business plan." No, you don't do that when you're DJing. You know, it's chicks and beer, man. Come on, my loud music and it's fun money, and I'm doing it for beer and fun, not for a business. And they do. If you want to be successful, if you want to be able to do this and not have a full-time job that pays your bills, then that of course is a direction you want to go. But usually people your age, in your situation, single, just out of school, that's not the first thing they think about. That's pretty rare. If I'm sure I'm sure you know this, right?
yeah, no, I know it 100%. I mean, I got a lot of friends that are not even close to where I'm at financially. So um, I'm they have a lot more fun than I do. I won't deny that, but uh, I I don't know. I really do thank my parents heavily for basically they've instilled the whole money concepts into me to basically get me to where I'm at right now.
Now, and your big
So
lesson later on is going to be now I want to balance. I want to use, I
work
mean,
life.
I got all this money I've been putting aside. Now I want to have, I mean, I'm doing it so I can have fun, doing it so I can chase the things I love.
That's 100%. That's my whole concept right now of why I'm doing these 90, 100-hour weeks. I'm like, I'm just grinding it out, building up what I can for that later factor when I want to quit, obviously, and also for future down the road. Like I said, real estate's something I'm probably going to get into in the next 5 to 10 years.
Wow. So now you're going to be talking about, once again, this is Rick Webb, Rick Weber, rather, DJ Rick Webb. He lives in Greensboro, North Carolina,
Mhm.
and he's got his own company, Fusion Sound and Light. He's going to be one of the presenters at the DJNTV show, which is
Yes.
happening the February 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th in Las Vegas at the South Point Hotel. And his presentation is going to be a Tuesday at 10 a.m. And one of the things that he has learned relatively quickly, especially since he's sitting right in the age group of those people that are kind of communicate with us right now, is
Mhm.
how to communicate effectively with that generation and to be able to understand what people are looking for. There's a lot of people that I know in the business that have been kind of blindsided by how quickly communications have been changing
Yeah.
with the people doing business with us, and you seem to be surfing that pretty quickly. How is that just something that came natural to you, or did you do some studying yourself?
I'm a heavy researcher, so I've done it's a combination. I mean, I got a lot of business podcasts that I listen to, but I have literally no business education. Never took a business class, but I'm a person that if I want to learn something, I'm going to get on YouTube and learn it. So a lot of it is also firsthand knowledge of where if I was going to go look for someone and just I study myself, I study my friends in terms of if we're going to go buy X product and it's going to cost this, what sort of things are going to be going through our head. So I've done a lot of personal just thinking and research in terms of and a lot of it has to do with just presence. That's a big thing I plan on talking about is your presence online and your presence, the things you're posting. This plays probably heavier on a person's perception of you than even talking to you. Uh, just because people want to work with people that they see. I know me personally, we're a generation that is a buy it now generation. If we see something that we like, we're just going to buy it. We're not going to hesitate researching other people. I want it. That looks nice. I'm going to get it. Will we feel bad if we find something cheaper a little bit later? It depends.
So it's
But
more of an instant gratification culture than you've seen in a while, or any of us have seen in a while.
yeah, it is very much so. I mean, that's me personally and my friends. A lot of us don't really do much. If we're researching something to buy, there's not much research. It's like one or two sources and that's it. And we're ready to go.
Well, see, and I know that there are people out there that are watching this thinking to themselves, yeah, but they don't know what I have. I mean, they don't really understand. They see a thing that they think they're looking for because they have a preconceived notion of what this is. How in the world can I help to make them understand that this isn't necessarily the thing that they think it is? It's not necessarily, and it's better actually, because usually, I mean, you know, you've been in the business long enough to know that, you know, people's perception of what we do for a living is not very great. So, and, and from that perception, I wouldn't necessarily pay a lot for that either. From that perception, so we as a business people and people on DJs, regardless of their age and how long they've been doing it, want to be able to, I mean, yeah, see it and buy it, but we don't want to see it and buy it. We want to have a little more of a connection. How do we begin that communicative conversation before they just, and then, or does that just scare people away?
It really depends how you do it. I mean, a lot of us will jump on a phone call. That's one thing that I don't think people realize. Millennials will jump on a phone call.
I think so too.
Especially for a lot of stuff. Like if it's something that I'm going to spend $1,000 plus, I'm going to jump on a phone call. Maybe something around $100, I would just buy it now. $200 maybe. Maybe a photo booth or an uplighting rental, I would just text or maybe buy about it. But when it's someone that's providing a service, I'm going to call them. I'm going to have a conversation with them. But it's about getting that to that point. And you hit on a big thing right there, is that we obviously we know what's going on, but my friends that are getting married, a lot of them have reached out to me and been asking questions because they're clueless. They're 100% clueless. And this has been going around for years. Brides are clueless and grooms are clueless, and other sexualities and stuff. They're clueless to what happens at a wedding. What are the back end stuff? They've been to weddings, they've experienced them, but they have no clue the ins and outs of why things are done a certain way.
Right.
So a lot of it has to do with education, but having that education being accessible without them having to contact you. So there's a lot
they want to be able to go to your website or your blog and learn without asking questions.
Yes. And
I see that too. I mean, with teenagers, I've seen that from teenagers all the way to people your age and older. It's, you know, there's a YouTube thing on that. You know, I don't got to ask you. There's, you know, I can fix my fridge. Just give me 20 seconds and to find a YouTube video, and that is a weird thing for us to have to kind of get past, or do we get past it, or do we have to ride with it?
My biggest thing, like you kind of mentioned, is the website, and that's something I'm going to talk about very heavily. I think a lot of people underestimate it, but your website should be really set up that it sells itself.
Right.
And there's certain things we'll touch on that you should have on your website, certain things you shouldn't have on your website, depending on what you're trying to go for. But
so what do you think the number one thing that people have on their websites that they should get rid of right now?
If their website looks like it was built in the Stone Age, get rid of it right now. But
okay, well,
it's dates.
What you think is the
dates.
Stone Age, and what I think is the Stone Age, brother. Come on.
If it looks like Windows 99, get rid of it.
Yeah. I don't know that I need your advice for that one. But let's say that they don't have that. Okay. That's the number one thing. Like, everybody's got their website, and you probably could look at every website and find that one thing. What's that one thing?
Dates. It needs to look like it's been updated. If I look on someone's website, and this is just me personally looking at other vendors, because I look at other vendors' websites before I go to a wedding with them to see how current they are. If I see dated dates, even a year off, that tells me that you don't care to update your business. You don't care to pay into it. So a big factor in that is being able to update your website yourself. And there's a lot of tools nowadays that make it really, really simple to do. But dated pictures, just dated stuff that instantly is noticeable, that, 2011, this is your latest review is 2000. Oh, okay. Are they still doing it? They were great in 2011. But
so I guess what you're saying is it would be better to have no dates. If you're not going to be updating your website, then creating blogs with Mary and Joe's wedding in 2011, we better just say Mary and Joe's wedding.
correct. And it's better to have with evergreen dates, in terms of, instead of saying I've been a DJ for 8 years, I've been a DJ since 2012. Stuff that you won't have to update. It still shows it. It's evergreen.
So
Evergreen
since 2012 sounds like you're very experienced, but I've been doing it for 8 years, then I have to do math.
Yeah. 8 years. 8 years sounds cool. You throw out 2012, especially now with 2020, people are like, "Whoa, that was a long time ago." I remember that.
You're gonna make me want to lay down, man.
Sorry, Bill. Sorry,
is not making me feel good. I'm just letting you know.
I know. It's
all
right.
I remember when I started DJing in 2016. No, I've been doing this. I've been doing this probably longer than you've been alive, mister.
Just a question. How long you been doing this? Because Chris over at DJ Associates, he's been doing it for 40 years now. So I was just
your mentor.
Yeah.
I've been doing it. I've been doing it a long time.
Just gonna leave it at that.
I started DJing, about 8 years ago when I was about 24. So it's been a. I've been look, kid. DJ has changed a lot.
Yes, it has.
Since I began, and it's changed. Actually, it's and people in who are outside of this industry, even the people in the industry, honestly, over the last 10 years, have zero idea how much it's changed just in the last 5 to 10 years. It is a completely different landscape with very, very different technology. I remember, having to haul around vinyl records, and stacks and hundreds of pounds of it to be able to have enough things to be able to pick a good 90 songs out of, to be able to have the entire back of a wall just for vinyl, albums, 45s, 12 inches, 3 Technique 1200s, so that I could mix and change and cue and pop and scratch and all the things necessary to do. And all of that was still skills that were necessary until about 2000, 2001, 2002, when it all changed digitally. And then it became, vinyl became a novelty. I would have to really work hard to be able to do a vinyl show for anybody anymore, even though I still, as a collector now, keep all of my stuff. Not that any of it I could sell anymore, because I've scratched the crap out of it all. But I have it. But I mean, it's still the same goal, right? It's still no one wants a bad DJ back then any more than they want a bad DJ now.
Correct.
They all worry about the same exact thing then as they do now. It's just now they're communicating instantly through all kinds of different ways to be able to have questions answered that they oftentimes think they know the answer to before they ask it. So in that, I can see a lot of differences. But everything else, someone who cares enough to take the time to be able to help out somebody to do something they've never done before, right?
Yeah.
And if you have any skills, you can do really well. And because you literally are sitting on the pulse of what many of us are not, many people kind of missed that wave, right? And so now you're sitting right in it. So I think one of the reasons that your February 25th, Tuesday, 10 a.m. seminar is going to be so valuable to so many of the people that come to be a part of this whole thing. And I know you've been working really hard to be able to put together something very, very usable and actionable for that day. Is there ways for the people to kind of reach out to you before this if they would like to talk to you about anything?
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of notifications as it is, as most people know, but Instagram is the best place you can get a hold of me. Instagram at RickyWeber65. I go through my comments multiple times a day to keep up to date with it. I answer every question on there. You could also comment on all my videos. I see every single comment. That's one thing I pride myself in. I go through every single message, every single notification that I get. It leads to part of that 90 to 100 hours a week, but I really take pride in communicating, and that's something. My whole reason for the YouTube side of thing was education. A lot of people don't realize that. I mean, I've kind of gone to a little bit of clickbait stuff to have some fun with recently, but
Well, plus
but
you're quite a Christmas caroler, I noticed.
yeah, that's an old video, right?
Yeah, no, I know. I thought it was
That
really
was one of the original videos I made.
very hilarious, though.
I found that it came up on my like time hop or something. And I was like,
Did
oh,
it?
I gotta share this with people. This was hilarious.
So what about you? You're going as a presenter, but you're coming to see the whole thing. Is there something about the show or the whole experience of this that you're looking forward to, or that you could tell somebody your age why they ought to come?
Personally, just this is me personally. I mean, I'm in the show, but I know a lot of these guys that are presenting right now, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about other presenters out there, but everyone that's presenting is going to give you information that you can actually use and take back. That's like one thing with my presentation. I'm going to spare you guys the backstory. This is what the backstory is for right here. I'm jumping right into content. If you guys want to know who I am, you can go look it up. But I'm going to start jumping into content. If you like what I'm saying, you like what I'm saying. If not, but a lot of people on this list are very knowledgeable. I'm super excited to meet a lot of these people I haven't met in person before that I've talked to online a lot. John Simmons, who you interviewed just a couple days ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him have been talking for years now, and I'm super excited to meet him in person. He's someone that I actually look up to in the industry because he basically did what I'm trying to do right now.
Right. That's very cool. I'm going to be out in your neck of the woods too. The week before the conference, I'm going to be in Charlotte.
Nice.
Doing my workshop. So if you're, I don't know how far, I don't know the state very well, but I don't know how far Greensboro is from Charlotte. But
we do Charlotte all the time.
Wave at each other.
Greensboro was also an ideal location to open a DJ business logistically. It's an hour to Raleigh. It's an hour to Charlotte. It's a half an hour to Winston-Salem. High Point's right here. I have a large pool to work with here. And it's very noticeable because there's more leads to go around than anything around here. It's amazing how many DJs I've met that we just tossed leads back and forth with. We actually all were tossing around a lead yesterday because all of us were booked, and I finally found someone that was available. So it's actually pretty cool to be in that kind of market.
So now, how many engineer jokes are you going to tell from stage?
I don't really know any. I'm not a joke.
Wait a minute. You don't know even one engineer joke?
I probably do, but I'm not a jokes person. I'm not an on the spot person.
No,
like if you're like, tell me a joke. I'm not like I could probably come up with some, but like no one would get them.
here's the only engineer joke I know that is funny to engineers because somebody told it to me. So how can you tell the extroverted engineer at a cocktail party? He's the one staring at your shoes. See, he got that. That's pretty good, isn't it? Okay, now look, we got to end, but I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person. I know for a fact you've got some great content that's going to be a lot of fun to be a part of. And another thing about these conferences is, especially the one that John and I putting together for you, is this is not about coming and watching and going, ooh, that was really cool. I'm never going to be able to talk to that guy. No. We're all there to shake hands, to get to know people, to connect online, to connect into groups, and to
that's a great
create
point.
a community that's going to raise all the boats. Okay, bring everyone together to be able to work as a collaborative community to see us all succeed. And that is exactly the kind of culture that we're trying to create with this conference. And now, if you have not got your tickets yet, you can just go to djntv.com/tickets. The tickets right now are at their cheapest. They're going to be, use the code DJNTV Show 2020, and you will get the least expensive price on the show tickets. Okay. And if you haven't thought about it yet, give it some thought. I mean, I know it's in Vegas, but really take 2 seconds to walk past the fact that you're going to have to get on a plane and then look into it, because It's one of the cheapest times of the year to go to Las Vegas. Okay.
I was so surprised looking at my tickets.
Right. I mean, you can
So cheap.
right now. I think John even found some unbelievably inexpensive $100 round trip tickets from most anywhere in the United States to go to Las Vegas. I don't quote me on it, but I saw him talking about it on the thing the other day. So, and the South Point Hotel has got a great deal. So you can go to Vegas for the very first time. You've never done this before. I remember the first conference I went to was in Las Vegas, and I convinced my wife that, hey, it would be a great write-off. So now here's another way for you to get to go,
business.
Right? I'm saying, plus it's not just BS. This is a serious conference for serious people, and you're going to have a lot of fun. So once again, February 24th, 25th, 26th, DJNTV show DJNTV.com/tickets, and we want to see you there. And tomorrow I'm going to be back at 7:00 with someone by the name of some weird Canadian guy that I'm sure you've probably never heard of, and kind of weird French name, Turnier, Dave Turnier. I don't know. If you've ever heard of the guy, you should come. I'm going to learn everything I can about the weird French Canadian guy who's going to be on tomorrow's show. Dave Turnier, another one of our presenters on Presenter Spotlight. For Rick Weber, I'm Bill Herman, and this is Presenter Spotlight, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Peace.
Absolutely. Peace.